So it's September 6th, 2024. And today would have been my mother's 74th birthday. She passed away in 2018, so a little over 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago or so. So in honor of my mom, I'm going to throw this out there at the very beginning of today's pod. If your mom's still in your life, take a minute to call her today just to let her know how much you care about her. Hopefully you do care about her. Look, I don't want to put that on anybody, but hopefully, you still have a real nice relationship with your mom. You'd also do this with your father. It doesn't matter. Just call up one of your parents and let them know how much you care, because you never know when the last time you're going to have an opportunity to do that is. That and moms in particular love hearing from their kids totally randomly out of nowhere. So with that said, happy birthday, Mom. Love you. And then we're going to get on with this and just start talking about something else. Last week, I talked about the isms and inflation and what happens. This is the number one. I took this, got this survey off of, let's see, where was it? Statistica.com. They did a survey back in July. It was published on July 30th, 2024, where they looked at the number one issues that they want to deal with in the upcoming election. Number one was inflation and prices. It was represented 25% of the respondents. So 1 in 4 respondents said that they were really upset about the inflation and prices. And I covered that last week and reminded everybody that the government controlling pricing is not a capitalist system. The government can do some things to regulate businesses, but Republicans don't like regulating them businesses. So in the battle for inflation and prices, I will throw this at you. Both candidates this week got a chance to roll out some of their economic policies. Kamala Harris is increasing the tax deduction for small business owners, for small business startups, from $5,000, which is nothing, to $50,000, which is substantial. That's good. Which could help some percentage of small businesses survive the first year. She's also got a tax credit for new parents. Actually, they want to bring back the earned income tax credit for children. Basically, they really want to help out parents with their taxes. And the Trump plan to help out with childcare was drill, baby, drill. So it was a meandering 2-minute nonsensical bullshit answer about tariffs and and reducing energy costs by producing more fossil fuels, which there's no fucking shortage right now. Like, the pricing isn't going up because of some sort of shortage. It's just, I don't know we've never produced more oil and natural gas than we are right now. I mean, what the fuck what does he want? Like, I remember when they were telling us that we'd have a taco truck on every corner if you elected Hillary Clinton. And I was like, man, that sounds like a good plan. I would dig a taco truck, whenever I wanted to go get some of those authentic badass tacos. But it didn't happen. And what is Trump going to promise? Like an oil derrick on every corner? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to skip number 2. Number 2 is immigration, 11%. But I'm going to go straight to healthcare, which is number 3 at 10%. 10% of respondents to this survey cared about healthcare, which feels like a low amount. I'm not even going to lump this in with abortion, which I previously talked about. Abortion is healthcare. Healthcare in general is kind of a disaster in this country. We're the only major country not to have socialized medicine. Because, I don't know, profiting off of the treatment of others is the way we're going to roll. The Biden-Harris presidential ticket, this crew, has done some good things in the world of healthcare by allowing Medicare to negotiate some drug pricing. They've capped the amount that you have to spend on, or you are allowed to spend on insulin. Basically, they capped the cost of insulin. Wow. I'm killing it today. Anyway, they've capped the cost of insulin to consumers, which is terrific. Insulin is not expensive to produce. It's actually extremely inexpensive to produce. And this in particular is a policy, a move by the Biden administration that would have probably prolonged the life of my mom, who I mentioned in the opening today. The Harris-Walz campaign, the new campaign, is proposing to basically expand the Affordable Care Act a bit. It's not a huge deal for them. They want to kind of continue the same policies. They want to continue to try to negotiate better drug pricing for the government, like they do like the military does it, the VA does it. Why can't Medicare also negotiate the prices of all their drugs? It was part of the Inflation Reduction Act, which the Biden administration got passed a couple years ago. And I tell you, this is good stuff. These are steps in the right direction to keep companies, big pharma, from profiteering off of us. Same can go for hospitals and healthcare providers who have a tendency to gouge us as well. The cost of healthcare in this country is too high, full stop. And insurance companies should be forced to be much more competitive with each other to offer better coverage in order to entice more clients. The Trump campaign's healthcare policies are a little different. They still talk about repealing the Affordable Care Act. They have no replacement plan. And there's this fairy tale that exists that, like, if you replace the ACA and allow insurance companies to deny coverage to people with pre-existing conditions, things like asthma or cardiac issues or cancers, that you're going to drive down the prices for everyone else. The system that exists right now doesn't drop the prices for any reason aside from being forced to by regulation. Pricing doesn't go down. It only goes up. Such is the way in crony capitalism. And the healthcare system is very, 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 very broken. There are certain nuanced additional policies that the Harris-Walz campaign has for improving mental health care in the United States, which, of course, always becomes an issue after we see, like a school shooting that happened again this week, this time in Georgia. I didn't deal with school shootings when I was a kid. I graduated in the early 90s, and Columbine, which is the first school shooting, basically it put school shooting into our vernacular, was 25 years ago. It was 1999. I remember them blaming the movie The Matrix for the way these kids dressed and the way they acted. And it's like, you guys didn't get that movie at all. Yeah, school shootings are sadly prevalent in this country to the point where J.D. Vance yesterday referred to them as a fact of life. And for those who don't know who Jack Dick Vance, I don't know what his fucking JD stands for. Jackass dickhead to me. Vance is, he's the vice presidential nominee on the Republican side. Of course, Donald Trump proudly did nothing on guns, especially after the horrible Parkland shooting in Florida. We just keep watching the same horror show over and over again, and Republicans' answer seems to be thoughts and prayers for everybody. We need to deal with mental health in this country. Guns aren't the problem. Mental health is the problem. Well, they don't have any plans to improve the care for mental health in this country. In fact, if you look at the voting records of these people, they voted against expansion of mental health care benefits and other things. So look, I could get into specifics, but it's boring. It's fucking boring. It's wonky bullshit. Who can get what done is the real question. And all I can say is in the world of healthcare, on the issue of healthcare, the Democrats have shown a willingness to sacrifice political careers. The ACA cost a lot of people their House seats, and they've never come back. It's cost a few senators their Senate seats, and they've never made it back. The ACA wasn't popular originally, but it is now. 14 years later. When was it passed? 2009. 15 years later. It is very popular now. There are a lot of really good provisions in the Affordable Care Act. It's a lot of steps toward kind of commingling a socialized medical model with the insurance-based insurance to provider-based thing that we've been living with for so long. But Republicans don't have any interest in fixing the system. In fact, they have more interest in breaking it, just like they have interest in breaking all the other systems. It was the late Senator John McCain, who was the deciding no vote in an attempt to overturn the Affordable Care Act with absolutely nothing to replace it with. Republicans are reckless and foolish when it comes to health care. They could give a shit. They consider it a privilege and not a right. You deserve health care if you can afford it in their world. And that's just, well, it's fucking gross. And more than that, they've decided that they're going to determine what kind of health care should be available to people, which is like none of their fucking business, but they're doing it anyway. So when it comes to health care, really, there's only one choice. Just like there was only one choice last week when we talked about inflation. The Democrats have plans to combat these problems, to actually solve them. Whereas the Republican Party is just a cult of personality. Their only plan is to win and make Democrats cry and then take away people's rights, take away people's earning potential, take away education, break the immigration system. They don't give a shit about you. When you think about who these people are, how is Donald Trump ever going to understand you when you realize the man was born with a silver spoon stuck up his ass and he pisses in a golden toilet? He doesn't care about you. He doesn't understand you. He doesn't know who you are. He talks about trips to the grocery store costing 50, 60, 70% more. No, they don't. No, they don't. They may cost 10, 15% more than they did. But even those prices have stabilized. He's never been to a fucking grocery store, man. Let's be honest. He doesn't know. And J.D. Vance has been bankrolled by Peter Thiel. He's basically Kermit the Frog with a billionaire's arm up his backside, telling him what to say. So when you look at the Republican Party, they are the pro-business party, they say. Pro-business, pro-big business maybe. But that's not good for us as Americans, and it's not good for capitalism as a whole. You want to be pro-markets. You want to be pro-competition. You want to be a system where there could be different winners all the time, where the government isn't picking who's winning, and where companies don't evade failure by simply merging with other companies. Yeah, healthcare is a part of that. There aren't enough healthcare providers. There isn't enough competition in the marketplace for this insurance coverage. It's a disaster, and we got to fix it. Hey, one side would like to try. The other side, good fucking luck, right? This one's a particularly close to my heart kind of issue because I suffer from what's referred to as general anxiety disorder. And today I'm having an anxiety attack all day long. I've been, tight chest, terrible thought patterns. You can't get out of your own head. And it doesn't help that it's 110 degrees here today. And I can't even just go for a walk to clear my mind because it's kind of like being baked like a chicken out there. Anxiety is awful, and it's a mental health problem that we don't really have easy cures for. I've been doing talk therapy here for 2+ years. I'm not sure how long it's been. It's been a while. It's been moderately effective, I think. I've discovered that action is the antidote for anxiety, because when you get trapped in your own head and all you do is sit there and think about it, it just makes things worse. But if you just get active, get to do something, even if it's not particularly effective, that could help. And that's why I'm doing things like this podcast. That's why I'm trying to write. That's why I'm trying to paint. That's why I'm decorating my house. It's why I've taken up ping pong. I'm just trying to be more active in general, and I'm trying to keep my mind active, and I'm trying to explore my own creativity and try to become a more worthwhile part of society again. All right. With that done, I'm going to say healthcare, baby. It's fucking important is what it is. 1 in 10 Americans seem to think that it's the number one issue this November, and I hope that they do vote Democrat. So with that said, we're going to bow out, and please remember everyone to go out, register to vote. Get yourself registered. Check your registration if you're already registered. I just checked mine. I'm good to go. And vote blue all the way down that ballot, because they're the only people that actually give a shit about you. Unless you're a multi-millionaire, like 100 millionaire, in which case you should definitely vote Republican. And what the fuck are you doing listening to this? Surely you've got better things to do with your fucking time. All right, that's enough. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Remember, please be good humans. It's the least we can do. And I'll talk to you again soon.